Hey everyone, this is Brian from ActiveMelody.com. We're continuing our look at how to play blues rhythm, and in this lesson we're going to continue the Eric Clapton rhythm style. This one is a little more advanced than the previous one. There's a few extra licks that I've thrown in. If you need to download the jam track for this lesson, you can do so for free at ActiveMelody.com. You can also download the tablature. So let's get started. Now the first thing I do when I'm playing this is I start with this A chord, which looks like that. It's just a very quick, punchy A chord. And that, again, that's just a left-hand mute thing where I'm squeezing down to make the A, then I release, but keep my fingers in place. So practice doing that if you need to. Control, it's all about control here with the left hand. So once you hit that A chord, then I come in and play this. Then you slide into that D7th chord, which is really cool sounding, very bluesy. And the way that I'm making that chord is I'm taking my middle finger here, this is the 5th fret, 5th string, or the A string, pushing down there. Then take my pointer finger and put it down on the 4th fret, 4th string, or the D string. Then take my ring finger and put it down on the 5th fret, G string, or the 3rd string. And then all that's left here, and so by the way, this little shape that I just made is the exact same shape that when you make a D7th in the first position down here, it's that same sort of pattern that you're making there, but you're playing it up here. And then what's left over is your pinky, and I put that down on the 5th fret B string, or the 2nd string. And when you play it, you're only playing the middle 4 strings. The thing is, too, is that you slide into that chord, so you don't just play that chord straight. You kind of go. And then I do this little part like that, which is just kind of an accent on that D7th chord. And it sounds cool. It sounds more difficult than it is. It's actually pretty easy. All I'm doing is, this is the 5th fret. I'm just barring those top 3 strings, and I'm sliding up to the 7th fret, then back to the 5th fret, and I'm just strumming it once. Then we come back to that A, and by the way, I'm not just hitting the pops. I'm kind of strumming it a little bit. It's you're kind of doing 2, 1, 2, pop, 1, 2, pop. It's kind of like that, and I'm kind of doing that. No matter which chord I'm going to. It's kind of 2 soft downstrokes, 1, 2, bop, 1, 2, bop. That's kind of the rhythm that I'm doing there. Then I do this little, and that's somewhere between a solo and it's not really a full chord, but it's kind of a nice little solo part to this rhythm. And all I'm doing is I'm playing, putting my ring finger on the 9th fret, 3rd string, or the G string, and then putting my middle finger on the 8th fret B string, or 2nd string. And I'm just playing those 2 strings when I'm doing that. I slide in, I start 2 frets down, and I slide my way up, so I do it that way. Then I end it with, and I just slide there from that 9th fret down to the 7th fret on the 3rd string, or the G string, down to the 5th fret, same string. Then I end on the 7th fret D string. So, all right, so then we come to the D7th part of the song. And the way we get there, now we've already learned this D7th chord, but notice the first thing I played was that low note there on the 5th string or the A string. And the reason that I'm hitting that first, it's 2 reasons really. The first reason is that it's defining the chord, so it's kind of the, playing the bass note and then the chord. But the second reason is that it actually, by hitting that and letting it ring out, it gives you just enough time to get your fingers in place. So that's that same D 7th chord that we learned just a minute ago. And then I do this. And that's really pretty much the same thing that we learned before by barring those top 3 strings, but this time when I slide up to the 7th fret, I walk down to the 6th fret, then down to the 5th fret. So it's like, each one, but the first time I just went, and then I kind of went, and by that, while it's, what I'm doing is while I'm barring that 5th fret there, those top 3 strings, I just come up here with I use my pinky. It may be easier for you to use your ring finger. But on the 7th fret, that top, the 1st string or the high E string, I just play that one note in conjunction with the other 2 strings. So just like that. And then you come back to the A. And that little part again. I changed the rhythm a little bit that time. Instead of, I went, and then I do this little walk up here. Now remember, just a second ago we learned it. I played that, that low note there in that D7th chord, which it defined the chord. It also gave me time to put my fingers in place. Well, we're kind of doing the same thing, except we're just doing it up 2 frets here on the 7th fret. So that would actually make the E7th chord. That same pattern, if you move it up 2 frets, that's the E7th. So all I'm doing is, to get in place, I go. So that's on the 5th fret, 5th string, and I go walk up to the 5th, 6th, 7th. Gives me enough time to get my fingers around the chord, make that E7th chord, and then while that's made, I can go. And there's that little accent part. It's the same thing we learned before. Top 3 strings barred, except we're sliding up to the 9th fret this time. And then we come down, play the D7th, and go. Same thing, but down 2 frets. And then back to the A. All right, so all that's left is that little turnaround, which is pretty simple. It sounds like this. Now I do this little on the B string, or the 2nd string, on the 8th fret here. I start with that first note, then I come down to the 7th fret, then down to the 5th fret, all on that same string. Those are your first 3 notes. Then I drop my ring finger down to the 7th fret, 3rd string, while I keep this in place. I keep this barred down the whole time. And then I come down and play that note. And then while this is barred, it allows you to go. Just kind of like this A sus thing. So it looks like that. And then I go. And all that is that little hammer-on thing that we learned. And so it's just, again, I'm continuing to bar there. This time now I'm barring the top 3 strings. And I'm on the 3rd string, 5th fret. Then the 3rd string, 6th fret. Keep that in place. And just go ahead and hit the rest of that chord, which is just the top part of that A chord. Those 2 are barred. Then I do this walk up. And that's really all there is to this little blues rhythm. Definitely want to download the jam track if you haven't from the previous lesson and practice with it. The timing is really key, and again, it's those. It's getting that rhythm thing going. And you really do need to have a jam track or a metronome or something to be able to get that right in the beginning. Hopefully that wasn't too challenging for you. That's all I have in this lesson. We'll see you in the next one.